we have a lot of catching up to do.
So let's do it.
Helopi pals, I am Jordan54, and welcome back to Catching Up, the self-explanatory series where we catch up in more ways than whoa. That was either a connection issue or my first ever instance of Joy-Con stick drift. What a way to start. Yeah, that was some shit. So, yeah, last time we covered the worst semester of my life. The worst Okay, that, I believe, is Joy-Con drift. I am not holding Joy-Cons at all. So, we'll be battling drift today, I guess. Let me see if it'll do it in front of the camera. Doesn't look like it. Okay. It's probably going to be on and off. Progressively getting worse as I continue to use the Switch. Well, anyway, yeah. So today, we're going to be covering everything that happened between the end of the fall 2020 semester and present day. This will be the final episode of Catching Up, where things actually start to get better. Awesome. And it looks like we're gonna have to be battling Nintendo hardware today. By the way, there's a Switch emulator called Yuzu. Just wanna plug the fact that that exists. I will be saying the word Yuzu every time I have a misinput because of Joy-Con drift. Yuzu. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's always morally correct to emulate. Anyway, so today we'll be doing the Fate of the Universe, the first round of it, and we'll be doing the Trial Galaxies. So there won't be as much gameplay in this one, which also means I'm going to try and speed a little quicker through the things that I want to talk about, because there is quite a bit to talk about here. But not all of it is, like, massive, so maybe we'll get through it without having to power level with Starbit grinding. We already have 4,239, that's, I'm pretty sure, vastly more than what I had in my walkthrough at this point. My most recent walkthrough part was the Galaxy's Greatest Wave, which was the final of the 3 trial galaxies that I needed to do. So, this is the last episode that I need in order to fully catch up. So, let's drift on over to Rosalina. Oh, okay. And we will be heading to our special one at the center of the universe. Let's go. While this kick-ass cutscene is playing, I'll begin catching up on my life. So, following fall 2020, following the relief of it no longer being a thing, I was focusing fairly heavily on seeing if I could last minute get myself a co-op or an internship for the spring 2021 semester and or the summer 2021 semester. I had been doing so in fall 2020 as well, but it was not successful, and it continued to not be successful. I had some interviews that went absolutely nowhere, and applications that went absolutely nowhere. Most companies did not respond at all. Let's hear this.
Go, Mario!
Go, Mario! Mario, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Awesome. But yeah, so I have a pretty strong feeling that my lack of success in finding an opportunity was due to the way that Corona affected the job market. You know, just wonderful. I'm just so glad that I was able to, you know, be born during this time where everything can go wrong for me. You know, sometimes the only thing keeping me on this planet is not knowing whether or not reincarnation is real. Because if I knew it was, I would have tried for a better seed a couple times by now. Also, I pressed A there a while back when the spotlight was here, it just didn't register. Yuzu. So, yeah, it continued to not be successful. Every time I thought I had a lead, I didn't. And continued to get more and more desperate as time went on. And eventually started to invest a little bit more time into my plan B, which was to try and do research with a professor. Started sending some of those emails, and I did start to see a little bit of success when it came to those emails. And it eventually got to a point where I got a lead on this one specific opportunity, and given how far I was into January already, by that point I had already turned 21, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to take this opportunity because I don't think I'm going to get any better opportunities, and if I do, it's probably going to be too late. Which is sort of the mentality I would have later on when I wouldn't find anything for the summer and just decided to continue said research into the summer, which is what I'm doing now. Let's get that one up. Oh wait, no, these things, oh no! No, we'll be fine, don't worry, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, there was a 3-second delay on that A button input, but we're fine. We'll make up for it by backwards somersaulting here. So, I ended up taking the opportunity and beginning research with one of my professors, who I'm also going to have this fall for one of my classes, which is going to be a class directly related to the research, which is cool. There we go. Now we get to the hard part. This part is difficult. It's not necessarily difficult to navigate, but it's difficult to go through without taking damage. I mentioned Romer before. He managed to go through this on his first attempt without taking damage, but then he got hit somewhere else, I think. I can't remember. Oh, see, I almost got it. Yeah, I'm glad there's... Oh, invincibility frames, let's go. I'm glad there's no Daredevil run for this mission, as a lot of my runs would end there. But yeah, he would get through that part, and then he just couldn't comprehend how to get through this part. I say that as I, you know, fall in the lava, and that time it actually had nothing to do with the switch being a switch with its controls. It was just me being bad. I might die here. We're good. Also, the visuals on some of these platforms look a little crusty. I don't know what's going on there. But, yeah, I wonder if it looks like that just on my TV or on the game capture. I'll have to take a look at that, but it looks like extra crusty for some reason. So, the research began. The research, you know, obviously a lot of it is confidential. Not that I necessarily would detail a ton of it anyway, but, because it's not the most interesting thing in the world for somebody who doesn't work in the field, but basically, I am writing algorithms for microcontrollers for a project that works with ultrasonic signal communication, which is pretty damn cool. I work with parallel processing and all of that kind of stuff, and you know what? It's a lot of fun. And compared to when I was taking classes, I had more free time, and I was able to use that free time to actually get things done, and also just be able to talk with my friends, which was... It wasn't a literal breath of fresh air, because it was still over an online call, but at that point, you know, I would be able to take what I could get. Now, a lot of my friends, I'm looking on the server that we usually talk on right now. It doesn't seem like they're on a call right now, but oftentimes around this time of night, which is fairly late into the night, they would be playing Bed Wars. which for those who do not know, Bed Wars is a game mode in Minecraft on a server called Hypixel, where you have to defend a spawn point from being destroyed. And they're pretty good, actually, and I say they because I'm not one of the ones who plays it. I've never played Minecraft in my life, still. And I don't do that out of, like, resentment for the game or anything. It's just not something I'm, like, super interested in. If I ever find a reason to, like, get into Minecraft, I will. I just don't see the reason to necessarily do it right now, especially when my oh, I was pressing A so many times there, and nothing was happening. Yuzu! And yeah, so I'm pressing the wrong button. That one's on me. I was trying to shoot a star bit at the light. Bowser's gonna come back online. No, I got him, okay. Yeah, so yeah, the reason I don't play Minecraft is because my backlog's already big enough, and I don't want to get sucked into another sandbox game, you know? I already spent a good portion of my childhood playing Line Rider, which you will see in Nostalgic Throwdown eventually. I'll have a big episode dedicated to that game. So, yeah, but even though I don't play it myself, it's super fun to watch them play. Usually one of them screen shares, and I watch them, and it is super fun watching them piss off the other teams with their tactics. You know, we have, they don't necessarily have designated roles, but they might as well. Like, one of them is typically the master of bridging, one of them is the offensive bed destroyer, and one of them is the distractor, and then the other one is the archer. Or, as salty people in the game chat like to call him, the bow spammer. There we go. Bowser using his Spikerizer move. Trying to get me. Get some more good music. Now I'll get his ass. Literally. So yeah, so that was super fun to watch. It was just an example of a lot of the fun that I'd have on calls with them. And all it really reminded me of is how much I wanted to see my friends from my hometown. And, you know, more and more on the news, I started to see distributions of vaccines starting to be a thing, and as soon as they were available, I was going to be first in line, which I'll get to a little later on. But first, we have a nice extended story that I get to tell during a big sequence of cutscenes once this boss is done with. One more hit, baby. There we go. Joy-Con drift doesn't affect motion controls. Maybe that's Nintendo's plan all along, to make controllers that are so bad that the motion controls look good by comparison. You could play Skyward Sword HD with button controls, but given your drift, do you really want to? Yuzu! So... Bum, 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 bum. So let's talk about the main event story for today. It's like a big story that I've been waiting to tell. It's like up there with Cheesy Joe's Vegeta and I'm Glad Someone's Awake. and like that tier of stories. So it has to start all the way back at the end of summer 2020, where, of course, I was looking for places to live for the fall. Yeah, so, no, it's just the cutscenes. We're gonna be watching a fair amount of them. I can probably just put my Joy-Cons down for a little while. There we go. really just relax and watch. Professionalism. So, it starts back then. I'm looking for places to live in the fall, and I'm not finding a lot of good options because it's fairly late in. It's like August, and I eventually find a place, and I'm worried about it, as I had mentioned before, because of one particular thing. I wasn't able to tour the place in person before signing the lease. I wasn't able to do that for any of them because at that point, I couldn't do that, and I didn't have the time to do that because of all the work that I had to do for my classes. But since I was on my away semester doing research and having more spare time, I figured I am going to have spare time to do one of those tours. And so I figured I would. Now, one of the opportunities that I thought I was going to have for the fall of last year was with one place that seemed a lot better. And it was, well, let's just say it was originally, fitting music, dude. Well, the landlord I was trying to contact ended up cock-blocking me at the last second, and I wasn't able to sign the lease, so yeah, that was wonderful. I went into 2021 saying to myself, I am not going to make any of the mistakes that I made the previous year. So, here's what we're gonna do, alright? I'm gonna look way ahead of time. Had to pause for that awesome explosion. I'm going to look way ahead of time for stuff for the fall and the spring, since this time it'll be 2 semesters. And once I feel like I've found... Oh, wait, I need a Joy-Con so I can go through text. Once I find a place that I'm probably going to be living here, I am going to tour it in person. Then I'll sign. And sure enough, there's another floor that's available. And so I got in contact, and that March, we had planned to tour. And then there was a COVID outbreak on campus. So, like, I was talking to him, like, hey, so, the campus is on lockdown right now. I don't think we can do the tour, can we? He's like, nah, we can't. I'm like, yeah, I figured. So, let's put my Joy-Con back down. So, we ended up having to delay it for another week, which set in motion something else that I'll get to in just a sec. So, it was the 24th of March, and I'm waking up, as Mario is. Again, perfect timing for the cutscenes. I wake up, and it's super early because I had, for once in my life, actually gone to bed when the sun wasn't out. And my body was like, wait, what? What are you doing? Best I can give you is 2 hours of sleep. So I wake up again at 6 a.m. and my friends are still online at like 6:40 a.m. playing Bed Wars. I hop in the call after being awake for 10 minutes. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing still up? So, I have a little bit of time before I'm gonna leave, and I figure, well, I'm gonna be on the road for a while, because it's like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour drive there and back. And I'm just like, well, I want to listen to some music while I'm gonna be on the road. So, and because I have an Android phone, I didn't have the iTunes integration with it, and I wanted to get some sort of app that would allow me to get those music files, get them to work. Now I have Apple Music, I've caved in and paid for it. But I didn't want to do that at that time, so I went through like a million third-party apps that all sucked ass, and none of them worked, except for one that kinda sorta worked, but I had to manually order the playlist, and it was pain. I finally got it to work, got on the road, and then I remembered, oh wait! My phone doesn't have a headphone jack. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just boost up my phone's audio to full blast and we'll listen to that. And that'll be fine. And it was. Shout out to Yoshiaki Koizumi for sneaking in the Rosalina story without Miyamoto knowing. I go and, you know, I figured I might as well grab something for breakfast. And they didn't have what I wanted at Dunkin'. And so I asked for something else, and then they got my order wrong. So I'm like, alright, nice. It's just a wonderful start to the morning. Not to mention, the entrance that I was going to try and drive into Dunkin' to actually get the food was blocked off by this big-ass truck, so I had to drive and then turn around. That was a pain in the ass. Finally actually got on the road. I'm already pissed off. But, you know, I make it there. I make it to the house, and I actually make it the literal exact minute that I was planning on making it there for the tour, which was perfect. And the guy came out, he's like, hey, and showed me around, and showed me the floor, showed me all the other areas, and it was, well, let's just say it was a hell of a lot better than the place I stayed in fall 2020. For one, it had a driveway, which means I get to not park on the street, which means no vandalism, no towing. Let's go. Really setting the bar high. So the tour ends, I've taken lots of pictures and videos, and I'm just like, yeah, this seems like a place I'm going to want to sign on to. So I tell my other friends who would be my roommates, and now they are, and I'm just like, alright, this is good. So I am ready to head back, and I'm hungry, because I haven't eaten since my wrong Dunkin' order. So I head over to Five Guys, have some food there, and then set things up, and I'm ready to drive back home. So there were a couple things that I wasn't aware of. Because of the delay of the tour, everything had been thrown off balance a little bit. And by that I mean I had sort of optimized everything to work perfectly on the original tour date, the 17th, as opposed to the 24th. I filled my gas tank in my car, gotten it washed, gotten the tire pressure fixed in my car, got everything ready. And then another week had to pass before I could do anything. And that ended up almost biting me in the ass lethally. So I'm driving home, and I'm back in Massachusetts, and you know, I'm looking at everything, and I'm starting to realize, oh god, that thing that they had mentioned to me in driver's ed is happening, where I'm like trying to fight back nodding off while I'm behind the wheel because I'm tired. But that's okay, because something was able to keep me awake eventually, which was I looked down at my fuel gauge, my gas tank meter, and I'm just like, oh, that's really, really close to empty. That's really close to empty. Oh no, I was originally planning on like stopping at a gas station right before I made it home, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can make it. A few minutes later, the gas light turns on saying, yeah, buddy, turn into a gas station now or it's over.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
So, I'm just like, oh. There's the purple comet. We won't be doing any purple comets in this video, but when we resume the Galaxy walkthrough, that'll be the first thing that we do. Back to the title screen. Leaving you on a cliffhanger, by the way. Sorry to edge you with this story. It's finally getting to its climax, and this is happening. Another world written in green. Alright, so let's head over to the Trial Galaxies. That's where. Oh! Okay. Just seeing if it was Luigi. Alright. Wait, no, didn't we already do the Secret Star in the Honey Hive? So I don't think we have any Luigi letters left. Yeah, okay. I figured. Anyway. Yeah, so... my gas tank is, like, about to be empty, and I'm terrified, because at this point, my phone has died, so I can't, like, call for like, my car to be towed or anything like that. It's in the middle of the highway, so I can't just pull over, unless I, like, am able to find, like, a breakdown lane or something. And it's, like, about to be dark out because this was, not yet. Let's go to the rolling gizmo first. Because it's, like, barely spring has started, so it still gets dark a little early. I can't remember when daylight savings time happened. Fuck daylight savings time, by the way. All my homies hate daylight savings time. So, yeah, so... I love the star, by the way. And if the ball motion controls are as responsive as I remember, we're gonna have a good time with this, actually. They were surprisingly good. So, like I said, the motion controls are actually good on this. So, they were good in the original game, but they're even better here. So, I am driving, and I'm desperately like, well, I need to find a gas station as soon as possible. So, I see a sign that says, hey, there's a plaza coming up in 2 miles, and I'm dead. There we go. Yeah, telling this story while navigating through this part of the level is going to be a bit tricky, but you know what, that's fine. I need to stall for time anyway. So, I see a plaza that does not guarantee a gas station in 2 miles, and I'm like, oh boy. I can try going there. It's in 2 miles. I should be able to make that. Then I see another sign that says rest stop for the city that I was in 4 miles. And I'm like, oh, because I know as a fact that there's going to be a gas station there. And I'm just like, I could risk it. Either way was a risk. It was risk chance-wise that there might be a gas station in 2 miles, or risk distance-wise that there guaranteed will be a gas station twice the distance. And so I chose to go for the guaranteed gas station in 4 miles, and I made it. I made it to the rest stop, pulled right into one of the lanes, filled my gas tank back up, and breathed a hefty sigh of relief. That was... I'm dead. that was a hell of a time, let me tell you that much. But one thing I can say for sure is... that woke me up! I wasn't worried about falling asleep behind the wheel after that one. So, got back in my car, got back on the road with a full gas tank, and full confidence that I had just had a gentle brush with being stranded on the road like 25 miles from my home. That's fun. And so I had accomplished what I wanted to accomplish that day. So at that point, it was like 5 p.m. I had been awake for a super long time. I just got back home, put all my stuff away, just went up to my bed and collapsed. I just fucking collapsed, which of course, once again, messed up my sleep schedule because I was going out cold at 5 p.m. But you know what? It's an endless vicious cycle of being always like nocturnal in the most fucked possible way. So yeah, that was tour day. That was definitely the craziest day of 2021 so far. Now, if there is any day that's going to contend with that for the craziest day, that would actually be... Whoa, that was close! That would actually be later today, because I'm actually going to be going up to that exact same place again today, because the fall 2021 semester is about to begin, and depending on when this video comes out, it may have already begun. And so, Apparently you can just jump here, by the way. I didn't know you could do that! I thought you had to use the platform as a riser. Fucking hell, dude. So yeah, once Tour Day was done, I was back to just doing research and knocking things off of the list. I mentioned the list before, the list of things that I wanted to do before returning to YouTube, and a lot of it was downloading songs, which I was continuing to do. And it was wonderful. I was making more progress again, and things were going well. Ever since the end of the fall 2020 semester, my laptop started doing this really cool thing where it would randomly just shut off. Like, it was just a thing it would do. It didn't happen very often, though, so I just kind of accepted it. It was fine. And the next big thing that would happen would be being able to be set up to get the COVID vaccine, which I would do that following month in April. And I got the J&J, which meant a one and done. Didn't need to get a second dose. It was just show up, get the jab, and be done with it. Or at least that's what I thought. One of the well-known things about this vaccine is it has, well, it has a laundry list of side effects, and none of them are very fun. And I got to experience all of them. It was wonderful. Some people just don't have side effects after the vaccine, or they just have soreness. Oh boy. Oh no. It fucked me up. It was bad. It was real bad. It was the worst headache of my entire life. I could not sleep that night at all. It was an entirely sleepless night. And I was on fire, but then part of my body would also be chilled. It was basically like an extreme flu. It was basically, it was COVID simulator. That must have been what it was. It was like it had to go through a trial run and be like, alright, your body can handle this. So now we will create the antibodies. I'm actually gonna go for the question mark coins. We're gonna be daring today. There we go. It's just coins. I'm living. Oh, we gotta get closer. There we go. Oh, it's a coin arrow. Let me get them all. Awesome. Yeah, it was very bad. It was absolutely brutal, and it was an absolute. I would say it was a nightmare, but I couldn't sleep, so it wasn't. The good news was it cleared up extremely quickly. It was like 36 or so hours after the shot, and like it was like I had zero symptoms. Like they cleared up like immediately after a certain amount of time, so that was good. And the immunity started building up, and you know it was wonderful. At that point, I was just playing the waiting game because there was still about a month or so left in the spring 2021 semester, and my plan was when the spring 2021 semester is up, I'll have all the immunity ready, and I'll have a week before the summer semester begins, where at that point it looked like, and it was right, that I would be continuing the research for the summer, which would follow the summer arc schedule, which meant only a week between the spring and the summer. I was going to use that week wisely and visit the Classic Crew. You guys know the Classic Crew, Super Dynamic Gaming, Neofan 64, and Bruins 98. And I had not seen them in over a year at that point. But I bided my time still, and I'm not pressing R. What is wrong with you? I'm not, or the right stick. I'm not even pressing the right stick. I'm not pressing the right... It's drifting. It's drifting. It thinks I'm... You know what? I'm glad that this does not, like, freak out with, like, camera stuff, because... also, sorry for scratching my nose so much. Allergies are going nuts right now, which is another thing I could probably talk about as to why that's happening, but that's later on. So, I was biding my time and continuing on the list, and it all culminated at the end of the spring semester, where there was just a week where everything began to rebound. For about a year at that point, I had been basically like mentally broken. And I'm dead. I have to collect all of those star pieces again. That's nice. No, this is fine. I have to stall for time anyway. Oh, wonderful. Let's start up top. Let's see if we can match the positions of the star pieces. That would be cool, I think. Oh, they're offset now. I don't have to worry about getting squished. Those are famous last words, by the way. So, the list continued. It all culminated into a week where everything rebounded. I'd basically been mentally broken for about a year at that point, but everything was about to change. I had downloaded the last song that I wanted to download, and it was then time to archive every single video in the reaction request database, which I did. And that took a while as well. I had to get very creative with being able to access videos. I know everyone memes about VPN ads on YouTube, but let me tell you something, those VPNs are actually useful. I am not in any way sponsored by ExpressVPN, but I sure as hell used it, because Viacom blocks a lot of YTPs worldwide, except it's worldwide with an asterisk. That asterisk says, buddy, you missed a spot. These videos are still available in Canada. Load up ExpressVPN, make it think I'm in Canada, all of a sudden I can watch SpongeBob YTPs again. Let's fucking go. So yeah, any of you want to watch some quote-unquote blocked worldwide YTPs? There's a good chance that the power of a VPN will allow you to do so. I uploaded a reaction request database update, and any of the videos you saw in bold, I was not able to archive. Everything else is successfully archived. If it gets removed from YouTube, it doesn't matter. So at that point, I had really just one thing left to do. And that was prepare my first video in over a year. And it was going to be the Freedom Dive 8-bit remix. And so I resumed work on that. I had started it, I had like 50 seconds of it done for a while. And that's when I decided this remix is actually going to be amazing. I'm going to return to YouTube using it. And that's what I did. I successfully got it done. And it was the morning that I was about to go over and visit the Classic Crew again that I actually uploaded that video and returned to YouTube officially. And I was worried that everyone was gonna forget about me. And it seems that in terms of the recommended section of videos, I think YouTube has forgotten about me. But the people who were subscribed to me already, I don't think they forgot. They seem to have remembered quite well, because if anything, I'm seeing better views than I have before, which is awesome. Thank you kindly, all of you. It's wonderful to see. So, yeah, ooh, there we go. Again, instant gyro reset. Love to see it. So, yeah, then I went over to Classic Crew's house, and I was just like, I've been waiting to say this for a long-ass time, ever since NeoFan64's birthday party the previous year. Where were we? Well, we had a lot of stuff to do, and let me tell you something. That week, we did everything. I was there with them for 5 whole days, which was the longest time period I had ever stayed over at their place. And yeah, we basically played everything, we did everything. We didn't record any videos because I just wanted to spend time with them at that point. I wasn't concerned with recording anything. You know, I had uploaded all of one video to YouTube in my return. I wasn't about to getting the grind set yet. That wasn't even a meme yet at that point. I'm gonna try and get a bullet bill to break this case, actually. So yeah, we did everything. We watched a ton of like videos and shit. We watched some YTPs. It was around this time that Alpaca Hawk was announcing his retirement. Which is sad, but you know, YTPers come and go, and you know, it's probably gonna be another Cool Cat or Carson Lover situation where he goes out with a bang with potentially his best work. I'm dead. Wait, hold on. Yes! No! I fell through the gap. I fell through the tiny gap between the platforms. That's a Super Mario Sunshine moment right there. That is funny. So, yeah. We basically did everything. We watched a fuck ton of videos. We played a fuck ton of games. There was this one Smash Ultimate match that we did. It was me, Super Dynamic Gaming, NeoFan 64. And I was playing Captain Falcon, and I got 3 double kills on them. The first one, I'm trying to remember. I think I edge guarded both of them. I like stomped one of them and footstooled the other one. Then I think the next one, I hit a knee on both of them. One of them didn't have enough recovery to get back on stage, and the other one just died. And then the final kill, I noticed Evan was pummeling. I'm dead again. Evan was pummeling in a grab state, Sean, and I was just like, wait a minute, this is my opportunity. I jump in with a Falcon Punch and I kill them both. So I got the triple-double. I double killed them 3 times in a row to win the match. I will never be able to recreate that feat, but it was legendary to see. That I had no plans to record anything that week, but let me tell you something. I sure as hell wished I was recording when that happened. I'm dead again. Thank you, Princess Peach, for providing me with all those lives. I might need them, because I'm being sloppy, which is good. Again, stalling for time. I still have another mission I need to do after this, by the way. This is working in my favor. Mwahaha! So, yeah, we played like a million games. Smash was one of them. We played Mario Kart. We played Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Evan's sister showed me this ridiculous trick that I had no idea about. Basically, if you don't want to set up a sensor bar on your Wii or Wii U, just light a candle on either side of the console and it'll work. I don't know what kind of witchcraft that is. I guess it has to do with the fact that it's just an infrared sensor, and candles emit infrared light, so it works. But that's just insanity that it just works that way. But, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever gonna use something like that, you know? I'm not gonna light a camera on either side of my computer monitor so that I can play Dolphin without a sensor bar. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, that was crazy to see. We played a bunch of other games. We played Kirby Air Ride, which is probably a fun game, but I had no idea what was going on. And we started in the multiplayer mode, and I didn't understand anything, and I wasn't really given a good tutorial on it. And I kind of hated it, but it's probably a good game, so I probably just need to play it for myself. I played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Got through a bunch more bombs in that. That was a lot of fun. I might have played Just Shapes and Beats, I don't know. I was able to do another successful run-through of Bucky O'Hare on the NES without getting a single game over. That was awesome. And I did something crazy on one of the final nights. Something I didn't think I was going to be able to do. I beat one of the biggest games of my childhood for the first time. Now, in episode 3 of Nostalgic Throwdown, I beat Crystal Castles. And to date, it is possibly still, or at least up to that point, it was quite possibly the biggest gaming accomplishment ever for me. And so, yeah, it was absolutely huge. And there, however, was one other game that was going to be featured in Nostalgic Throwdown that I considered to be harder. And I was able to beat that week for the first time ever without using the rewind feature or anything like that. I beat it legitimately, and I also did so without a single game over. All the way from the beginning, which, to be completely honest, it's easier to beat it from the beginning than it is from any continue point, because you lose certain weapons that you would need. You know, if you get a game over that far in the game, you might as well hit reset. It's not going to happen. Apparently, there's a way to skip that loop-de-loop. I don't plan on doing that. I just want to get a good enough time so that I impress the Penguin Man and I'm able to get some star bits. So, yeah, that was probably the biggest thing that happened that week. I also got Evan to set up a bunch of emulators, because I've been getting big into game emulation. Yuzu, by the way, but also Citra, Dolphin, Melon DS, and MGBA. Those are based as well. Yeah, before we get that star, let's get this Sling Star. Oh. This is perfect. I get to run through this again, because I missed some. And we did one other thing that I had been meaning to do for years and years at that point. Far before COVID was a thing. And that was, I finally watched the second SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. It came out in 2015, and I just never saw it, I guess. It just always slipped my mind, and we all watched it together. Some of them had already seen it, but they were evidently super down to watch it again, and I'm glad that they were, because I actually liked it better than the first SpongeBob movie. So now there's a third SpongeBob movie out. It's called Sponge on the Run, and I've heard mixed things about it. I'm probably still going to end up seeing it at some point, but yeah. I feel like I would enjoy it, though. No, Mario! Oh my god! You're on the goddamn winner's stand. Don't Joy-Con drift yourself into the abyss. Good lord. Jesus. Just warbles himself off to his death. Yeah, let's go, dude. Yeah, so that is actually the last star that we needed to get for this episode. So, yeah, that was, you know what? I would rank that very high in weeks in my life. That was definitely one of the best weeks in my life, and it was the best week in a long time for me, probably since the Model G20 Summit in 2018. And I needed that. I ended up going home and recording more videos, and it felt very, very good to be able to do that. My summer research started back up, and that's when the condition of my laptop really began to degrade. And I can't say that I'm surprised that it was around that time that it did so. Partially because Murphy's Law, and partially because of Adobe's Law. Because, you know, Adobe programs are kind of hardware intensive, and so when I started rendering long videos again on that laptop that could not hold charge and sometimes randomly shut off, those random shut-offs started to happen a hell of a lot more often. And it really started to come to a head when I began to try and export the Memorial Day special, which was long, high quality, and high frame rate, which was a combination my laptop did not like. And it ended up having to get delayed for that reason. We're starting grinding again, by the way, but I don't have much else to talk about, so we won't be here for too long. But yeah, the absolute state of my laptop at that point was difficult to comprehend. It was incapable of holding charge. it randomly shut off if there was like a spike in power usage or CPU usage. The speakers on it did not work. I'm not holding A. that was a good Joe joke. I liked that one. That one was funny. I let go of A, and Mario just chilled there for about 5 minutes before he decided, oh, you let go of A. I'm glad that these controllers were tested and designed incredibly well. I'm glad that the creators of the Atari 5200 controller still have work in the industry today. They haven't been blacklisted. So anyway, yeah, so the speakers didn't work, it couldn't hold charge, it would randomly shut off. The Bluetooth driver on it was completely, it was completely destroyed, where I couldn't hear anything unless it was like, unless I like bypassed the full blast to amplify things to insanity. And this happened around the time that one of my ears was blocked, so I thought I was legit losing my hearing. that was fun to experience. I just realized that I didn't hit the checkpoint yet. Let me do that. There we go. Anyway, yeah, so that was certainly a thing that happened. There are other issues with the laptop. The keys on the keyboard don't work very well. Sometimes I have to press them really hard for them to actually work. The trackpad has completely popped out of its socket, so I can't use it anymore. I have to plug in a mouse, which I prefer a mouse anyway, but still. It's just indicative of other problems with it. I think there's other issues with it. These are just the ones that I'm listing off the top of my head, which is probably only scratching the tip of the iceberg. Are there other issues with it? I'm trying to think now. Oh, yes, that's right. There was one other issue with it. The HDMI port on it started fucking up, and if I plugged in a second monitor, it would blink like crazy and wouldn't work properly. And because one monitor was blinking like crazy, both monitors were blinking like crazy because they were trying to like detect each other and shit. So yeah, it was a completely impossible workflow. Yeah, so that was funny. So at that point, I had decided I am going to have to get a new PC because I can't wait any longer. I know it's a chip shortage, and that's going to make prices suck balls, but I cannot wait any longer. It's not going to work. And so I began research on my new PC, which I now have. And this is the time where I get to flex my specs. But I do not get to flex the price tag that I had to pay because, man, that chip shortage hurt my wallet pretty bad, but, you know, my research was paying well, so I was able to get it all without having to take out a loan, you know? Reserve those for college. So, for the case, I got the Corsair Crystal 570X RGB. I don't really care about RGB, it just kind of comes with it. And it looks kind of cool, so I just have it there. At some point, I'm going to need to clean out the dust filters. Power supply, I got the Seasonic Focus PX 750. Now, it is 750 watts, and it's also rated at 80 plus platinum, which is apparently a super good rating. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm dead. And so, yeah, got a solid power supply unit in there. The case, by the way, is absolutely fucking massive. It actually cannot fit underneath the desk shelf that I have, so I have to have it awkwardly sticking out in front of my desk. It's not like in danger of toppling or anything. I wouldn't put literally $4,000 worth of money in danger of falling to pieces. Don't worry. So for the motherboard, I got the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Ultra. I mainly got that because it fit my PC case very well, and man oh man did it have a lot of USB ports, which I need, because I'm using all of them. It also has an AM4 CPU socket, which has direct compatibility with the CPU that I use. The AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, 16 core, 32 thread, super motherfucking powerful. So that was one of the main things that I was getting. I was really speccing into CPU and GPU. The GPU, I was originally going to try and go for this specific AMD Radeon GPU. I ended up choosing an NVIDIA one instead because they seem to have better cooling. I also got a particular model of it that has better cooling. And the NVIDIA GPUs seem to get their power tapped into better by Adobe Premiere than AMD. So I went with NVIDIA. I went with the Gigabyte model of the GeForce RTX 2070 Super. No, I wasn't going to get a 3080 or a 3090. Not when scalpers are essentially stealing them. And being the scum of the fucking earth. And combining that with a chip shortage such that the lowest price you can find for a 3090 is, well, $30-90. That's not gonna happen. I got a 2070 Super for like $1,200, okay? I'm not gonna get a marginally better CPU for like 3 times the price. That isn't gonna happen. I'm not doing that. That's not efficient. And not that I need the most powerful GPUs on the market anyway. I just need a powerful one. And I was able to get a powerful one. I had to get it used. That really goes to show you the goddamn chip shortage price mock-ups. One of my friends referred to them as, I think, making Mafia price markups look like Black Friday. And I didn't believe him at first, but boy oh boy, he was absolutely right. And I was worried about getting it used, but I didn't really have any other options. And so far it's working. I am using that GPU right now to capture this gameplay footage, so I would say it's working quite well. I'm dead. For storage, I got the Samsung 970 EVO Plus M2, holds 2 terabytes, it's an SSD, it's an M2 SSD, and it's an NVMe, so I was able to just snap it into my motherboard and call it a day. Didn't have to plug anything in, which is real nice. And I was considering getting an additional hard disk drive for a ton of storage space. This is this 10 terabyte HDD that I was considering getting, but the reviews were horrifying. The descriptions that they gave on how bad it was, so I'm just like, yeah, I think we'll hold off on that. For RAM, I got Corsair Vengeance LPX. There's an RGB model, but I don't need RGB RAM. And I got 32 gigs of it because I don't need 64. That's excessive. I knew I wanted more than 16 though, because 16 gigs definitely didn't seem like enough for proper multitasking. CPU cooler, which I almost forgot about. I was not going to get liquid cooling. It was my first time ever building a PC, so I figured I'm going to stay away from liquid cooling because I don't want to fuck it up. And I'm just going to get an air cooler because I don't really care about sound. If my PC is a little loud, that's fine. I just want it to work. So I got the Be Quiet BK024 Dark Rock Slim, and it works pretty damn well. And don't worry, I didn't forget thermal paste. I applied that using the dot method, got the Arctic MX4, which is some of the best kinds of thermal paste. And yeah, so far it's working well. Hold on. Oh, what a move. Let's go. That actually wasn't that impressive, but it looked cool. It looked cool. Yeah. So, yeah, those were all the main components. I also bought a webcam and a second monitor. At that point, I was also on my 3rd G502, which I still am. I meant to hit that sling pod, but that's fine, because there's more things to talk about. So the parts gradually arrived once the last one arrived, which was also the first one that I ordered, the case. The first thing that I ordered and the last thing to arrive. It's funny that way. My GPU also arrived way quicker than I thought it would, which is awesome. So yeah, I then set aside that whole day to work on building the PC. It took me 14 hours to get it all done, with no breaks for food, none of that. I just powered through, did it all. I obviously did drink a lot of water, and I made sure to do that because I was building this PC in the middle of a fucking heat wave, which thankfully did not negatively affect the computer in any way that I can measure yet. I'm dead. I got a 1-up on my way to my death, though, so we're fine. Everything's under control. So yeah, I got the PC running, and it's a wizard. That's what it is. It's insanely powerful. It's the fastest PC I have ever used, and it's also all mine. It's not a family computer. It's all for me. It's all spent on by me. It was all stuff that I ordered, and it would seem that my bank was not very thrilled about that. That I was making a lot of sudden, expensive online computer part purchases, and they were like, "This is suspicious. We're freezing your account." And so I had to get that resolved. That was fun. Wondering why the hell nothing was working. Actually, making me rage quit Pokemon Masters for the final time. Because I thought it was the fault of Pokemon Masters. I'm also at 999, so I need to stop. But yeah, I got the PC upgrade, and following my rage quit of Masters, I returned to Pokemon White and finally managed to do everything in it that I wanted to do, including a legendary Elite Four run where I would consistently be put in I was super underleveled for the Elite Four rematch, and I still managed to win after some insane brushes with death, dodging focus blasts, and other crazy events like that. I ended up sweeping Cynthia's team after setting up coils and a light screen. Then she sent out her Garchomp, and I'm just like, oh no, that's probably faster than me, and it was, but then it missed with Dragon Rush. And I got a crit with Leaf Blade. It was amazing. We now have 5,960 star bits, by the way. That's absolute insanity. So, at this point, I can put down the Joy-Cons because we're done Starbit grinding, and we can talk about what's happening in the future. As I said, I am going up to my senior year apartment later today, actually. And in doing so, we'll be dropping stuff off. I'm not going to be actually setting up to move in there just yet. That's also one of the... I put out a community post saying that uploads were being slow. By the time this goes up, it'll be a little while since then, but Mario's gonna fall asleep. It's fine. He gets to do something that I can't do yet. So, yeah, it won't be fully moving in yet, but again, I just need to make sure everything actually runs smoothly, which it might not. We'll have to see. So, that's happening, and the fall semester is happening. I'm taking a lot of cool classes like microprocessor systems and computer hardware design. I'm retaking that. Computer vision for visual effects. I get to combine my video production experience with computer hardware experience. That's going to be cool. I would hope it's not online. If it is, I'm probably dropping it because fuck that. And I'm also taking some other classes like applied game theory and then some other easy classes. So it's going to be a much better semester. That I can say for sure. This time I'm not jinxing anything, and just to be extra sure, it's time for a wood knock. I'm not sure if the camera mic picked that up, but I just knocked on wood. Yeah, so for stuff in the future, that's what's going to be in the future. I'm batch recording videos like crazy, so that I don't have to worry about recording much of anything. And yeah, I hopefully will be able to have videos being put out during a semester for the first time since, well, the first time consistently since fall 2018. So that I hope we can all look forward to. One thing that we can all also look forward to is following the release of the Season 6 finale, which, by the way, is going to be amazing. Hardest I've ever laughed on camera. Following the Season 6 finale, I will be upgrading cameras. And every video from then on out will be with that upgraded camera. It'll be the first time I've upgraded video cameras since the beginning of 2016. So, we'll have upgraded camera quality, upgraded audio quality, and most importantly, I'll have a camera with an LCD screen that actually works. So that's all in the future for us, and it's a future that I can look forward to. I'm happy about it. Things are finally starting to get better, and you know, it's important to have a reason to be optimistic, and I finally have a reason to be optimistic again. So, with that all said and done, catching up is complete. The next time you see me playing this game will be for a walkthrough part. So, with all that said, keep looking forward, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.